to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Avengers Doomsday included a fascinating teaser in the form of a light show at the Disney Marketing Expo in Shanghai, including some clues pointing to the team alignments and what Dr. Doom will look like as he wrecks these Marvel heroes, including what he's gonna do to Thanos. I'm gonna break down every little Easter egg in this and explain what this even is. Now, New Rockstars has partnered with some cool musicians to make Neon Dreams, a song we really dig that we think you'll like too. Click the link below to follow us as an artist on Spotify, where you can hear the song. If enough people like it, we'll do some more in the future. Okay, on the exterior of the expo in Shanghai, we see a big art display of Dr. Doom that I think is gonna be the look that they're going for in the movie when Robert Downey Jr. is completely suited up. And it's very comic accurate with the medieval armor, the gauntlets, a chainmail, and the proper shade of green covering all this. I would say it's very Latvian. Now, is this the Victor Von Doom from the missing Latvian delegation at the Future Foundation in the 828 universe that we saw in Fantastic Four First Steps? That we don't really know yet. But you also may have seen going around a behind the scenes video of this interesting light display from this source. So let's take this down beat by beat to explain what's being shown here. The first thing we see is just the armored gauntlet of Dr. Doom reaching out through a green rift at us. This may show us what the multiversal portals look like when Dr. Doom is opening them. The next keyframe is the green hooded head of Dr. Doom, which spins around to show us his armored mask. The back of the hooded head has been so far the only form Dr. Doom has taken in live action on screen in the MCU in the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four First Steps. The music we hear under this is Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme. We also know Silvestri has composed a new track called Doom, which played in that post-credit scene when Susan Storm first saw Dr. Doom with Franklin Richards. We then pull back from this image as Dr. Doom's full chest and shoulders appear, and you see these two metal plates, the clasps that keep his green cape and cloak attached to his armor. They're kind of octagonal pieces on either sides of his chest. Each one looks like it has a different symbol on it. One kind of looks like a horizontal line that has horns going up. I'm not sure what this is, but the other one is a kind of starburst that looks like the Captain Marvel star. But I have a feeling this whole light show that we're seeing in this video has been horizontally flipped, like we're seeing it backwards, probably from behind where it's actually going to be projected for the audience, because in the outdoor banner of Dr. Doom, the sigils are flipped compared to Doom in this light show. And actually later when we see the Avengers logo, it's horizontally flipped. The arrow is going to the other side. So we continue to pull back as we see Dr. Doom seated on his throne. Yes, Dr. Doom on a throne. The fact that he's on a throne at all is also pretty interesting information. We've seen Loki sitting on a throne. We've seen Thanos sitting on a throne. We've seen Cassandra Nova sitting on Thanos' throne. So is this Dr. Doom's throne? Is this a new throne that he has taken and assembled from broken pieces of all these other thrones? Then green electrical energy pulses through whatever chamber he's seated in, and as he's on his throne, we flicker to some other dramatic kills this Dr. Doom has racked up, including this blink and you'll miss it frame of Dr. Doom holding a skeleton. Either a skeleton whose spinal column he's ripped out, or something that he's plunged his hand into to turn it into a skeleton. Either way, it is definitely a reference to this iconic moment with God Emperor Doom in the 2015 Secret Wars #8 by Jonathan Hickman, when Doom plunges his fist in Thanos' chest and Thanos goes "Hirk," and Dr. Doom rapidly ages him into a skeleton. So we could look at this as confirmation that we will see Dr. Doom in either Doomsday or Secret Wars recreate that iconic moment from the comics in Doomsday. Or maybe this isn't Thanos. Maybe Dr. Doom is doing this to Kang the Conqueror. Now we see Doom's full body hovering, showing that our man can fly, which, you know, isn't that surprising. He can do so many other things. And then he does some interesting choreography here. He pumps his arms down and it breaks a bunch of glass shards around him, which look like he could be breaking a reality. Then he levitates those shards back to his fist and then blasts them back out to orbit around himself, which may remind you visually of the way Uatu the Watcher would break through the broken mirror pieces of reality in the What If series, specifically in season 1, episode 8, when we first saw his side of what's called the observational plane. You remember when he was battling Ultron Infinity through this? The observational plane is a name given to the Nexus realm from which all of the Watchers observe the events of the multiverse, and it's where we spent much of the final episodes of What If season 3 as we met the 3 main Watchers that Uatu reports to. And what's also interesting about those episodes of What If, even though they're in animation, we did learn in that episode that there was an alternate version of Reed Richards that Uatu the Watcher intervened with and saved.
That does not explain your intervention to save Riri Williams.
That was one time out of trillions.
Oh, Kwai Jun Fan, Reed Richards.
So this light show animation makes it look like Dr. Doom is shattering the observational plane and kind of just remaking it the way he sees fit. It's not quite fall here in Los Angeles, but half of the farmers markets have some kind of tasty looking hard cider for sale already. I love cider, but I can barely even think about having one because of the headaches I get the day after. But pre-alcohol from Z-Biotics lets me enjoy a drink without worrying about the morning after. Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. To get some pre-alcohol of your own, just click the link in the description below to get 15% off your first order at checkout, plus free shipping. Z-Biotics offers a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Now Dr. Doom emits some of these radial lines coming out from his outline that makes it look like he might be going invisible or maybe phasing into a new form. Now Dr. Doom stands before this interesting column that looks like there's a giant keyhole in it. It spins in front of him. Whatever this is, I think it's going to be important, at least important enough to include here. Some piece of technology that Dr. Doom has built or is trying to build to move through the multiverse. Now we see a small green light that flickers, and then two giant Dr. Doom armored hands come in from either side, and a mystical green energy flows out from either side and forms a ring, something that looks like one of Shang-Chi's 10 rings. Now, we have been waiting to figure out what Shang-Chi's 10 rings were summoning in the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, a movie that came out when the plan was still to make the 5th Avengers film Kang Dynasty, but since that changed, and all of our other theories about like them calling the Celestials, or them having a connection to the quantum bands that we saw in the Marvels, or them summoning Galactus, all of those have been debunked. I feel like there's just going to be a connection to Dr. Doom that they retroactively connect. But within one of these rings, we see a green geometric figuration forming that looks like the Eldritch runes, a sorcery that we see conjured by Doctor Strange and the other sorcerers of the MCU. Dr. Doom is known for being a villain so advanced that he has equal masteries of both science and magic. Then we see the big Marvel logos. We see the blue A logo of the Avengers, which again has been horizontally flipped, so I think all of this is backwards, followed by the purple glowing outline form of Black Panther with the pointed necklace that the Black Panther wears and the mask, followed by the 4 of the Fantastic Four logo, followed by the silver X of the X-Men logo. So as we've seen in various other announcements and interviews that we've heard about Avengers Doomsday, yes, the X-Men from the Fox X-Men era are going to be one of the teams that these other characters meet. Specifically, Nightcrawler actor Alan Cumming just wrapped his production, and we know that he's going to have a combat scene with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. But specifically, it's going to be these 4 main groups of heroes, and this is how they're being designated in the plot of the film. I just find it interesting that the Black Panther group is kind of like a separate group from the rest of the Avengers, which makes sense. They've always been dealing with their own problems, but based off of the casting, it seems like the forces of Wakanda that include Shuri and M'Baku are going to be teaming up with Namor and Atuma and Namora. So what even is this light show? Are these Easter eggs in the light show canon to what's actually going to happen in Doomsday? Well, these kinds of displays are something Marvel Studios' exhibition marketing team have been doing more and more, like the Galactus drone show at San Diego Comic-Con in 2024. As to whether these are things that will actually happen in Doomsday, it seems like the artists who designed this display worked a bit with the concept artists working on Doomsday the movie to create some specific visuals inspired by art that they're probably using for the movie. And while that may result in the Doctor Doom from this light show looking different from the Doctor Doom in the design of the movie, we do learn quite a bit about his power sets from watching this animated version of him move. Like, our man can warp reality, he can fly, he can conjure the same type of magic of Doctor Strange, maybe he knows how to summon the 10 rings, and he can kill Thanos. Comment down below with your thoughts on all of this, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Frederick Price, who has supported us at the executive producer level. Follow me at EA Voss and subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.